This video is called Into the Flesh. So I'm going to talk about incarnation. Incarnate. Into the flesh. If the word incarnation triggers you, because maybe it doesn't match with your religious beliefs, with your upbringing, does that mean there are past lives? Does that mean I chose to come here? That is up for you to explore, okay? But incarnation, into the flesh. Isn't it funny that we all seem to forget or lost our reasons for how we came here? Why we came here? What is the purpose of us coming here? And why did you maybe even choose to come here if you dare to step into that kind of power? I call this, and many other people call this, the veil of forgetting. It is easy to look at this world, at physical life, as a sort of school, as a sort of virtual reality game, as a sort of experience that we created to learn, to grow, to be bound by physical laws. It is easy to look at life and at the world in that way. But we all forget that we choose to come here in this theory, okay? This might be one of the main rules of the game. You incarnate, you go into the flesh, but you forgot that you made that decision. One of the goals of the game, just following this theory, I'm not saying this is truth, this is theories that we can explore, which we can use these kind of mediums for, to explore together. I would love to hear what you think, what your theory is for why we are here, and how we came here. Do you think we chose this? Or do you think it's all random? And why do you think that? I would love to hear that. It's something I'm passionate about, I'm exploring every day. Because for me, one of the goals of the game, that I put upon myself, to be honest, is to remember or to find as clearly as possible why I am here, who I really am, where I came from, and what my purpose on this planet is. It is just a topic, it is an area of life that is always deep down brought up questions. I have always wondered what we are doing here. I've always wondered what this experience is. So up until this point, the theory of incarnating, choosing this incarnation for specific reasons, which we can get really deep into, but I would need a couple of hours. Choosing this experience, forgetting why we chose the experience, to make this as real as possible. To make you at first believe that you are just this body, that you are bound by this physical reality, that you are very limited and separate from everything else. But then something comes along called quantum physics, for example. And again, I'm not going to go into what that really means structurally, but the basis of it is that there is one big energy field and that there is consciousness creating the experience for itself. Consciousness has a direct effect on the reality that you experience. If we incarnated and we would fully remember that we are that source that we came from, then this wouldn't feel that real. We wouldn't really play the game to the best of our abilities. And you actually see this happen with people that, let's say, have awakened, or they become, as you might see them, hippies. They kind of fully let the physical 3D world society go because they think they have found a realization that none of it matters. Because they have realized maybe who they are. But I think that does a disservice to this experience that we came here to have. To fully experience this 3D physical reality. To experience all the emotions, negative and positive. To experience fear and to experience heartbreak. To experience loss. And to be able to transmute that with the knowledge that is innate in you into higher emotions, into a better experience. So the quest for deeper knowledge, the quest for deeper understanding of who we truly are and where we came from is an individual quest that is for every single person, I believe, to find out. Now, religions and people that share this information with other people, like myself at this point, which I never expected I would be doing, are tools, are resources that every person can pull from to make up their own definition of who they are and where they came from and why they are here. I think it is one of the most beautiful quests that we can set out to do as a human, to have that connection with what we truly are. So back to into the flesh, and even how the way that sounds, into the flesh. Flesh for us, it triggers for me it triggers an emotion. Flesh. It is so real. It resembles this human, animal-like experience, into the flesh, incarnate. Did we choose that? Did we choose to incarnate? I believe yes. Do I know this for sure? No. Because it would imply so many things. It would mean we don't just have one incarnation. So into the flesh, if you're watching this, your consciousness is watching this in a flesh suit. Think about that for a moment. The you is not that flesh suit. The you is not this physical body. The you can observe and experience with and through this physical body, but you are not the body. An interesting way to look at it is, because many people do define themselves with their physical body, which of course makes sense. That is kind of how we are programmed from birth to look at ourselves. But then you can ask yourself, if I cut off my arm, am I still me? You would say yes. If I cut off my legs, am I still me? Yes. If you follow that thought experiment, you will soon realize that you are not your body. Not at all. You are something that is using this body, using this vehicle, to experience this reality. Now, without this physical body, we couldn't experience physical reality like this, and that's why we chose to incarnate into the flesh. But if this flesh vehicle, if this body dies, where do we go? Well, that awareness, that doesn't die, because it's not linked to the body. We're using this body to experience it, but we are not this body. So that awareness goes through its own process, back to where it came from. And then if we did not learn the lessons, and again, this is theory. I'm not saying this is the way it is. I love thinking about these concepts, and I love sharing these concepts. The lessons that you were supposed to learn, but you didn't learn, you will have to come back. Learn them again, but again you will forget. When you leave this body, you go back to that place, you will realize what you were doing down there. And you will realize that you did not learn the lessons you were meant to learn, and that was the reason you incarnated. So now you have to go back into a different experience with different individuals to teach you the same lessons. And in Buddhism, this is the wheel of samsara, the wheel of karma, that we cannot escape until we neutralize our karma, until we live a life where we have neutralized the karma. We don't have to come back. We can, we don't have to. All of the esoteric parts of religions and traditions have references to reincarnation. They were aware that there is a process between lifetimes, before lifetimes, after lifetimes, that we go through and that we are in some sense bound by. Again, if this triggers something in you, which I would understand if it does, because maybe you follow a religion, I would do some research into your own religion and the more esoteric, hidden things that have come out in the last 100 years. You will find references to reincarnation, to previous lifetimes, to a realm beyond this physical experience. So into the flesh, one thing is sure is that we have an experience in this flesh. What we don't know for sure is how we got in here. Did we choose it? Is it really all random? Is consciousness a byproduct of our brain? I think we have dismissed that theory, but some people still believe in that. So what does this mean? Ask yourself, why did I choose, if I chose, why did I choose to incarnate into the flesh? What is my purpose for being here? And if you have no answers to it, it is a beautiful journey to embark on to try and find out what the answers are. Why are you here? Why did you incarnate into this body? Why did you incarnate into this family? What are you here to do? What are you passionate about? So incarnation into the flesh. Maybe give this some thought. Give these kind of theories some room. Open yourself up at least to think about these theories. I think within humanity we're moving into a phase where these kinds of concepts have to come back. And we're going to have to start thinking about these things. So I invite you to dive deeper, research more, dive deep within yourself and ask yourself the question: how did I come here? Why am I here? And what am I here to do? You got this.